Okay, so the last song that's really stood out to me was the final song, the title track one. Uh, where do we go from here? It kind of threw me off, being that I was listening to it and I walked away and from the speaker and I heard it from the other room and I was like, wait a minute, it's not picking up, but the melody is getting better and better and better. Like like the melody stuck with me right away, and just the simplicity of the recording, I guess. After so much stuff had been going on for the entire record, and then to finalize with that, I thought it was really cool. I really dig the song. I hope that you guys are going to eventize it at some point. I mean, obviously it's the title track on the album, so imagine it'll get some shine at some point in this cycle, right?
Yeah, it's gonna have a bunch. So that song wasn't supposed to be on the album at all. I
Okay.
wanted it initially with it being a for them album. It was supposed to be all energy all the time,
Okay.
and then this was the song. And I was like, and then I fucked it up and did one for me. That everyone
Mm-hmm.
started calling me from the record label to management to band members individually without talking to each other on the same day, just being like, "This album's missing something." And I know you said you wanted it to be just like hard the whole time, but it's missing the Danny song. Like it's missing that moment where just you do your thing and we all take a step back. And I was actually sat in here with my buddy Corey, who's the other owner of Assassinata, writing that song for my next album. So we
Okay.
were already writing that song, and then they were all calling it, and it was like one of those moments where the universe intervenes a bit. Whereas that song was so perfect contextually to like conversations we'd been having as a band and stuff each of us individually had going on in our personal lives, where it was so right place, right time that we pivoted it to this album. I sent it through to everyone. It was just a piano and vocal song with all the percussion and strings that are still in there. Um, but there wasn't any like it wasn't all
No
the
guitar.
acoustic guitar,
Yeah.
all the other stuff. It had the big build at the end, but that was it. And they were all so they were like that's the album. Like that's the album name,
Wow.
which was it's always kind of a cool thing for it to be something you put together by yourself at the last minute. For them to be like, that's the name of the album. We don't have to think of one now. And that was the
Yeah.
last two albums. Was
To
that
just thinking about this conversation, how this comes through is like I'm thinking the times where it's happened in our band too, and like how special. I'm so glad you pointed out like the universe decides for you a lot of those
yeah.
times when something like that happens, and I'm just so happy that you guys have that on this record because I knew at the beginning when you said there was a song that you kind of did for yourself. I was like, well, I know which one he's talking about, like, and we'll get there. But it's a unique song, and it's beautiful. The melodies are great. What you're saying, and it's great. It brought me to a question that made I didn't have time to go back and listen to the rest of the lyrics as closely because I was. Is there an overlining concept to your lyrics on this? Because if you look at the titles of the tracks, it seems like they kind of all coexist together, but it doesn't feel like there's one theme throughout this album.
No, it definitely wasn't a conscious thing. The concept lyrically was the same as it was sonically, which is what has worked in the past and what are the moments from the last 15 years of albums that have particularly resonated with people or that they've connected to or that people have voiced have meant a lot to them or helped them, and like that's our talking points. Because usually it's just writing songs is therapy for me.
Right. Yeah.
This was the first time for the band that I've done it not that way. So that song obviously is an exception. Um,
I got to say that lyrically it stands out for that reason, in my opinion. Like
yeah,
that, I mean the other stuff's great too, but like when you hear the universe calling or whatever, when you're writing something that the rest of the guys gravitates towards, and it's not even something you were writing for this project per se,
yeah,
and it means that much to your bandmates that you have been with for 15 years. That's another good sign of a fucking great song, man.
yeah. The this song actually started on TikTok, and I was just scrolling through them, and I was like, I had a TikTok account, but I never posted on it because at the time it was at this. all we're being told is like, it's the Chinese government and they're gonna read everything from your phone. And somehow me scrolling through it would save me from that versus posting from it. But I was like,
I love the absurdism of that, like the absurdity of that. It's just so
no
funny,
sense at all.
Because everybody, like, I don't understand, not to get off topic here too much, but I don't understand that mentality that people have these days of like, oh, they're watching me. Big Brother is like, no shit. Did you not think like, and you think you need this device? Like if you throw this away, they can't follow you anymore. Are you out of your mind? Like they're so far TV. Beyond us. Just don't have anything that interesting to talk about, and you'll be fine. Like they're not picking up on that. They don't want to know about your grandma fucking flashing you when you were 5. Like they don't need to know that shit.
As incredibly cool by every measurable metric as we may be, we're not saying anything they can talk about.
No, not even kind of.
I'm sat on 0 national secrets right now. So
I like that you had to think about it though to make sure.
I had to check.
That one's
it's actually a lie. It's actually a lie. I know some stuff, but we're on camera right now. TikTok will tell you all about it. But no, I found this. It was the first thing I ever posted on TikTok, and there was this girl, and I'll have to find it. I'll probably post it tomorrow when the album comes out. And it was one of those open verse things where she had a chorus and she just left the beginning open, and something about it just clicked with me, and I had that first verse, and a lot of my writing I do improv, like freestyle, because I'm clearly a big hip hopper. And I said, walking around this house, drowning in tequila. I was like, fuck, that's so good. And I almost didn't post it because I was like, if I post this, does she own it?
Yeah.
And I told to my lawyer, I was like, if I decide to use this, am I good? He's like, yeah, she isn't. You're still good. So I eventually pulled it down to make sure. But yeah, it literally was written. That melody was written off this girl's song on TikTok. And I changed all the chords and everything, so she can't come after me. So
I'm gonna put that on TikTok right next.
Try harder, lady.